Hello and well met. We're going to continue with the storyline. Just super quick, since I know everybody cares. Mercy's gear. She has a black helmet that basically from the ears up around the entire head is covered. Got a couple like black kind of spikes that are for her ears. It's actually, I guess, just below her ears and up. It's kind of like half her cranium. It kind of comes down around her eyes too, so she has some eye slots and a few like metal spikes in the front that are kind of silverish or chromish. There's a few chrome squares around the helmet's rim. Her chest armor is green with kind of a gold cross looking kind of symbol in the middle. Green shoulder pads too. Wrist guards are black with kind of some purple highlights. They are the Drachen, the dragon wrist guards, and they go kind of a little bit above her elbow too, but leave the elbow and a tiny bit of the lower arm bare. Black pants and black boots that have kind of like some silvery spikes on them. And then my spear has kind of like, it looks like the eye of a dragon on the tip of near the tip of it, so it kind of looks like there is a bit of an axe haft to it, like halberds have, and a spike on the opposite end. Almost kind of they make it try to look like it's a winged dragon. It's kind of cute. Actually, I might take a picture of that because I haven't. Let's do, which one is that? It's screen lock. So that's the picture of the gear from the back. And then that's a picture of her from the front. Cool. Scroll lock, not screen lock. Alright. Oh wait, we should probably talk to this guy to get the quest. So we're talking to Harschiffont. The Talk of Coerthas. As you have doubtless realized by now, the high houses of Ishgard, House Four Temps included, are either unable or unwilling to offer you formal assistance in your search. However, that does not mean that there are not influential individuals within each house who are sympathetic to your cause. I shall be sending missives to their various representatives in Ishgard, though I suspect it would be quicker and more efficient if you were to make inquiries of your own. Lady Ninne, Neen? I'm going to go with Nene. Lady Nene of mine own house, Four Temps, who resides here in Camp Dragonhead, rather enjoys the company of travelers. There is also Crevelin of House Helenarte, who can be found at Skyfire Locks, though any information you pry from the scribe may prove difficult to parse. Have you spoken with the chief astrologian of House Durlindare yet? Really? Perhaps he will be more accommodating once I inform him that you are a friend of House Four Temps. Do not concern yourself with House Dismail. I shall contact them myself, seek the counsel of the three I mentioned, and return to me when finished. Okay. So I can't fly yet. I forgot. I've just been on one of my other characters, and I can fly everywhere. So, well, everywhere I went today with that character, I could fly. So we ran north. We're in a kind of bigger castle structure here. Nene is sitting by a fireplace next to a table. Why, hello, good madam. What's that? An airship, you say? I hate to disappoint you, but I know nothing of what you seek. Likely no one of House Four Temps does, for if they did, I would definitely know as well. The topic on everyone's lips these days is what will become of young Lord Francel. Some say the allegations are long overdue, given how many members of House Helenarte have been found guilty of heresy in recent days. It's all lies. I still can't fly. Running on Jacobit slower than flying. I might try to mute in between talking to these people so I can eat. Thing that I'm eating, in case anybody's curious, I call it hot meat soup, but it's far more than that. Anyway, here's Crevelin wearing like kind of purple squire's top tunic, white gloves, purple hat with a feather in it, and green capri pants and white socks. Alone grant me strength. There must be some way to... Oh, who are you? A friend of Lord Harshafont? I want to help you, I truly do, but these accusations of heresy have thrown House Helenarte into chaos. Right now we must focus on combating these charges and preserving our reputation. Anyway, the next iteration of this hot meat soup is going to be a little bit easier. I found some really well priced, basically like ham steaks, and I think it's going to be a ratio of 1 ham steak to each dinner. But there's also some chipotle peppers in adobe sauce, or adobe, whatever. I think it's adobe. Those are used to, you don't need a lot, but they are used to add some spice. That's the hot part of the meat soup part. You guys will not kill these things, I swear to God. Do I got all of your attention yet? Awesome. Also, I should probably summon my Chocobo for some heals. Ah, right in the fire. And we're doing the fate where a bunch of black dragons or wyverns attempt to just cause damage, to kill our cargo. And they always get at least 1 hit off. But then they turn to me. Pray to me. Or swear to me. I had a dragon flying overhead. I'm like, what is that? But there's somebody on their mount. Oops. Gosh, this is so much. This particular fate is so much better than the and this will finish it off. Alright, the last person... Oh, it's up at the top of the observatorium, I think. Unfortunately, this particular pathway requires some more dexterity and thus probably not able really to eat. You could always take a second to grab some food. But anyway, chipotle peppers and adobe sauce. Ham is just easy. You can use chicken, but like I like it cubed. I like something cubed. Then, not big, like cubed or little like kind of dollar or maybe dollar coin or quarter sized pieces of meat. Dollar coin would be better. That's actually too big. So maybe like half dollar coin. Anyway, for le mort. The yellow-robed man with the hat at the top of the almost top of the Astrologium Tower. I gather you've been busy since last we spoke. Lord Harchafont's missive was positively glowing, but if you think that his endorsement is cause for me to disregard Ishgardian policies, you are sorely mistaken. We are at war, madam, and the enemy grows bolder by the day. Why, in the short time since Inquisitor Guillemine arrived in Coerthas, countless heretics have been discovered. Even amongst the elite of Ishgardian society. Suspicious. If Lord Harshafont wishes to waste his days chasing after a long-lost airship, then that is his choice. But if he expects others to share in his folly, then he is truly blind to the present state of affairs. I'm going to spend 100 gil to teleport back. But anyway, chipotle pepper and adobe sauce or adobo sauce, one of those two, which you can find in a can, like in the Mexican aisle usually. Meat of your choice, like cubed or $half shaped size cuts, and then chicken broth. You could probably do beef broth just fine, depending on what kind of meat you want to use. And lastly, veggies. I do cauliflower and broccoli. You can buy them frozen in bags and for a very good price. You can buy the ham for maybe like $3 or $4 per pound. I think the ones I got are about $2.94 per pound from Walmart. And just like ham steaks are like this big. I would say maybe they're about maybe a foot. They're ovals, but like a foot long oval that's maybe half a foot wide at the most. Harschiffond. By your countenance, I take it you did not learn anything of use. Nor did I fear. It seems the whole of Coerthas is consumed by this talk of heretics in the high houses. We can only hope that my sources in Ishgard proper provide more pertinent information. Road to Redemption. I had another personal request to make of you. It concerns Lord Francel, of whom much has been whispered in recent days. I have received a report that he and 3 knights were seen heading north towards the Steel Vigil. The outpost was long ago overrun by the Dravanian horde, so I am not certain what he intends to accomplish with such a small force. Whatever his motives, I fear for his safety. Pray journey to the Steel Vigil and see if Lord Francel's party requires assistance. Okay. Mute for food. I almost fell into a crevasse again. Gotta pay attention. But I do try to remain keto as much as possible. So, got meat, you got the hot pepper, the adobe pepper, you got veggies, you got you can if you want to use bone broth, if you want to use a little bit of coconut oil, which the kind I buy has no flavor, so it can add fat to it without flavor. I cooked duck on Thanksgiving, so I'm using actually some of the leftover duck fat when I cook the veggies. But here's Francel. He's got a knee down. He's got a hand down. He looks like he's in dire straits. He's panting heavily. Who goes there? Mercy? No, stay back. The fiend is still here. And a larger black wyvern pops up. The Grande Avis has attacked and is dead. Francel. Hello and be praised, you did it. But what of the others? 3 knights who accompanied me. Where are they? Alright, we'll search for them. This one. I'll kill this guy first. Just another wyvern. Black wyvern. I say wyvern because they have wings, but they don't have, like, the wings kind of are the forearms. God damn it, I didn't read what he said. He probably got accosted by too many dragons and he's grateful for my helping him out. The next night, curse those fiends. It's as though they knew we were coming. So maybe the first night said something about an ambush also. And lastly, there's an unfit knight sitting on the ground. She's breathing heavy too. Confound it all! How are we to redeem House Helenarte if we can't even slay a single Avis? We are fortunate you came along when you did, miss. House Helenarte will remember your kindness. And back to Francel. Giving him aid. was a foolish thing to do, I know, but I'd hoped we might demonstrate a devotion by slaying a number of the Scalekin. Moreover, it was House Helenarte that yielded the Steel Vigil to the Horde many years ago. One might say that our defeat here heralded the slow decline of our house's once great name. We have been brought even lower by these despicable accusations of heresy, and despite my best efforts, I have done naught to improve the situation. The day of my trial approaches. Soon I must accept the judgment of the Inquisitors, whatever it may be. But even should my protestations fall on deaf ears, I will proclaim my innocence to my dying breath. Hear, hear. Okay, mute for food. Alright, back to Harchiffon. What did you find at the Steel Vigil? Ah, I see. A reckless plan, but at least it did not cost him and his knights their lives. I have news for you as well. A witness to the final flight of the Enterprise has been found. Alas, there is a complication. It has become common knowledge that you paid a visit to Lord Francel at Skyfire Locks not long ago. Upon learning of this, the witness became understandably reticent to make your acquaintance, for fear of being seen in the company of a woman who might later be declared a heretic. A not unreasonable fear, given the zeal with which Inquisitor Guillemine has conducted his investigations. In any case, if we wish to obtain his testimony, we must first clear Lord Francel's by name, and by association, yours. Alright, next quest. Following the evidence. As I see it, the key to proving Lord Francel's innocence is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of the draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. Blah, blah, blah. So it was found in a locked chest labeled as the property of Lord Francel. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here's what you must do. Return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Rickman. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Coerthas, so he may have some inkling of who could be responsible. Okay. Mute for food. I realized I was consuming more of the solid food and not a lot of the liquid, so I gotta make up for that. A lot of liquid bites now. Rickman, sitting with a Tyrelond guard in armor. Yeah, someone tampering with shipments? Fury strike me down if all of them rosaries found in our people's possessions were planted. You know, don't you give me that look, lass. I'm a House Helenarte man through and through. This heresy nonsense is bad for me and my family too. I ain't saying the porters what were bringing the shipment did it, though. I know most of them what work the trade routes, and I've never had cause to question their faith. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it... Could it have been the fellows what were responsible for the inspections? Ha! Ishgardian knights and inquisitors, a lot of them. As if they'd ever turn their cloaks. Reckon that means the porters are your most likely suspects. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew coming to Camp Dragonhead from White Brim Front this eve. You might consider having a word with them. Okay. Back to the north. Mute for food. it is quite possible to use too much adobe pepper. I'm going to start cooking it like in the past I was cooking an entire, well, as much ham as could fit, so got a big pot, like at least a foot across in diameter. And I used to cook, I would dump an entire carton of chicken broth into it, and then basically keep putting meat in there, usually ham chunks, until it got basically level with the broth, the top of the broth, and then just really, really, really slow cook it, like for hours on a low setting on the stovetop. Covered to start. Well, actually, covered the whole time on low, because that would mean less liquid lost, and that I don't like. I did it once without the cover on, and by the end of it, I didn't have a whole lot of chicken broth left, so it kind of ruined the ratio. It was no longer really a soup. But here's the apathetic porter. Beg your pardon, you suspect that we porters have been planting draconian rosaries in House Helenarte's shipments? What nerve! If you truly believe such nonsense, search our parcels and see what you find. House Dizamail parcel number 1. House Helenarte parcel number 1. House Helenarte parcel number 2. 2 and 3 both had rosaries, apparently, hidden inside. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. You hand over 2 draconian rosaries. But that's impossible! Once the knight at Whitebrim Front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. And if I had been the culprit, I would have never allowed you to search my shipments. Say what you will to Lord Harshaphone, I will not be held accountable for this. So it could have been the knights that inspected it, quote unquote. Harshaphone. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard shouting. Ah, but more importantly, what did Rickman have to say? You hand over the 2 draconian rosaries. More draconian rosaries? In every single parcel bound for Skyfire locks? That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Helenarte's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. In praise alone that he did, Lord Francel's trial is upon us, and we must act now if we are to clear his name. I think the next one is long, so I'm going to end this. I'm going to finish eating. This video is going to be done, and then the next video I'll make basically right after I'm done eating, and it'll be the conclusion of this next quest, and then whatever else it happens to be. But see you soon.